What is up guys, Rick is here, and in today's video we are taking a look at the Dunemarchers exotic Titan boots, kind of, in Destiny. Now the reason I say kind of is because these are an example of a hidden exotic. An exotic that we know about but currently isn't available within the loot table. So why are we talking about an exotic that you can't get in the game right now? Well, simply put, with the upcoming Rise of Iron expansion, it's entirely possible, and I would say likely, that some of the hidden exotics will finally make their way into Destiny. And even beyond the Rise of Iron, there is a possibility that some of these hidden exotics get added through random updates. That's actually exactly what happened with the Titan exotic chest piece, the Twilight Garrison. You can loot it, you can use it in the game right now, and it was a hidden exotic for quite a long time, so the Dunemarchers could very well make their way into Destiny rather soon, and that's why we're talking about them. So let's get started. The flavor text on the Dunemarchers reads, "Whether on a solid rock or shifting sand dune, the inexorable sand eaters never slow their pace." Moving on, the exotic perk of the Dunemarchers is where things get really interesting, and it is called Speed Demon. Increased sprint speed, extended slide distance, increased movement speed while aiming down sights with your weapon, and tighter turn radius while sprinting. In other words, these are the exotics that say, gotta go fast. Seriously though, this exotic perk is actually insane. Your mobility shoots through the roof as a Titan when you're using this exotic. You have increased sprint speed, and can you imagine for a sec, increased sprint speed plus Titan skating. Heck, that might actually be why they took these out of the game. They were going to put them into the game with the Taken King, and perhaps because they noticed a lot more people were Titan skating that they realized, you know what, if we increase the sprint speed plus Titan skating, that's going to be insane. Like, that's going to be unstoppable, and maybe that's why they removed it and they're, tweaking them or tweaking Titan skating itself before they reintroduce them. But, increased sprint speed plus Titan skating, again, that is the ultimate wombo combo. And on top of that, you have extended slide distance, which works really well with shotguns and the like, which of course you're going to be tempted to use if you have increased mobility, and increased movement speed while aiming, which is essentially Stalker from Call of Duty. That's actually really useful because a lot of people, they're going for headshots, and when you're 1v1ing something, often the people are just kind of moving side to side, trying to avoid getting shot in the head while you're trying to shoot the other guy in the head in PvP especially. And being able to have an advantage, move a little faster when you're doing that, round corners faster while aiming down sights, that's all very useful. Those are like legit improvements to your performance in PvP. Again, in Call of Duty, there's an entire perk, Stalker, dedicated to that. I think it was in Modern Warfare 3 was really the main one it was in, and it was utilized quite a lot for just that ability. Now, of course, Call of Duty is a completely different game, but you can see some of the inspiration they incurred from that in this exotic. And lastly, of course, tighter turn radius. This might be just in general quite useful. I'm not quite sure it compares to the other abilities of the Dunemarchers. And I know this sounds like mainly a PvP focus exotic, and it is. Like, all of these abilities work very well with different PvP builds. If you're being very aggressive, especially if you're using a shotgun build, this could work very well with a very aggressive PvP strategy. But heck, I'm tempted to use this in PvE for, grinding strikes. There is so much areas in strikes where you're just running past enemies. Like, you're trying to get through the strike as quickly as possible. You're grinding strikes, you're trying to get Vanguard, and being able to sprint faster and do all this stuff faster, have a longer slide distance, turn tighter around corners, like, this sounds actually really useful for running through strikes really damn quickly. So I'm very tempted to make a PvE focused class with this exotic if it were to be introduced. And frankly, the other two exotic Titan boots, the MK44 Stand-Asides and the Paragon Greaves, really aren't anything to write home about. They don't see almost any use in either PvE or PvP, so it would be nice to see a new pair of Titan exotic boots that actually sees some gameplay. Aside from the exotic perk, however, we have the pretty standard rigmarole of perks. We have randomly selected intellect, discipline, or strength. We have different ammo capacity increases, fusion rifle ammo, shotgun ammo, etc. But in the last column of 3, we do have the triple element focused agility boosters. You can have arc double down, solar double down, or void double down, which increases your agility for 5 seconds after getting a double kill with a specified element, which obviously goes really well with the very mobility focused, gotta go fast focused Dunemarchers setup. So, the Dunemarchers are actually one of the more exciting hidden exotics. They do definitely have the possibility to be introduced in the Rise of Iron or beyond, and their ability is powerful enough that it makes me think that these would see play. These would see play in some capacity, especially in some PvP builds. Now that's going to be it for today's video. If you guys want to see me cover another hidden exotic, leave it in the comment section down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did and want to help me out, please remember to simply like and especially share this video. If you want to see more Destiny content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best ways to follow me on Twitter at RickHackis. That's linked in the description down below, as is my Twitch channel, which you can also follow. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day. Now, the Cryptarch is just such a huge part of Destiny. He is so associated with the game, both in the positive, like when he gave you your first exotic out of a legendary engram, and the negative, like when he gave you blues out of your other 100 legendary engrams. But either way, he is just so strongly a part of Destiny, and that's why it's kind of sad to see him so heavily fallen from grace, become so essentially useless within the current state of the game.